Hello friends, welcome back to my channel once again. Today's topic is power over Ethernet, which is power over E, that is PoE or PoE plus, which is power over Ethernet or power over Ethernet plus. So we want to see what is power over Ethernet and how do we use it and where can be used and get a full benefit of this kind of power over Ethernet devices in our network. So let's see those details and with a small lab as well. So let's begin. So first of all, this power over Ethernet was developed by Cisco in 2000 for delivering both data and power for the connected devices. So in 2003, it was developed as IEEE 802.3AF as a type 1 with 15.4 watts of power. Later in 2009, it is developed as PoE plus with 30 watts of power output. And again in 2011, 30 watts of power delivery was doubled by introducing Cisco's universal PoE, which is called UPoE with 60 watts. And they call it as a 4PPPoE type 3, which utilize all four pairs of your wires in the Ethernet cable. That's why 4-pair power over Ethernet type 3 cable, type 3 feature is enabled. And later in 2018, IEEE 802.3BT was amended and 4PPPoE Type 4 was introduced, which is with 90 watts of power, which can even power your laptops and systems. So that's it. So and then if you are installing, let's say the basic ideal real-time scenario, if you are installing hundreds of IP cameras or let's say some access points, bulk of access points in your network, you don't need to power them individually using a power adapter, which is going to save your time and money. So you can connect the PoE switch or PoE plus switch depending upon the power requirement of these devices and then connect through the PoE switches. Of course, there are two types of PoE switches we have: active PoE switch and the passive PoE switch. As you can see, the active PoE switch can provide the sufficient or adequate power to the connected devices automatically, whereas this passive PoE switch is like they don't negotiate with the connected devices, whereas in active PoE switch they negotiate with the connected device and provide the necessary power to the connected device. But this passive PoE switch is a dump device which does not do negotiation, and it just give a constant amount of power to the connected network devices. So hence it is important to understand the voltage requirement of the network devices like IP cameras and WAPs should be known before you connect to the PoE switch. So let's begin with a small lab. Let's see how these PoE switches can be verified with the power outputs. So I've taken 2960 switch and check whether it is a PoE enabled switch or not. So let's begin. Just go to this. There is a command called show power inline, which will help us to know the connected ports power in watts. So let's see show power inline in this device. You can see this device does not accept this command. That means this is not supported. This device is not a PoE enabled device. You can see there is not even a power option available in this device to check the power distribution on the ports. So this cannot be used as a PoE. Let's see for another switch. Let's say 3560, and this is a kind of multi-layer switch. Let's open it. So this is a 3560 24 PS. By seeing the model in Cisco switches, you can identify whether it's a PoE enabled or not. So just open it and you can see the model number as well. Just log into this device, enable it, and then give show power inline command, which will help us to know whether it is a PoE enabled device. So it will give some output. You can see this is a PoE device because it can show the power over Ethernet distribution, and you can see per port is being allocated with 15.4 watts maximum. You can see the first port FEA0/1, which has a 15.4 maximum power, can be accommodated in this port. So this is what I'm trying to say. So type 1 device. So this type 1 device can accommodate 15.4 watts per port. So, and if you calculate it, there are 24 ports. So 15.4 into 24 will give you this total amount, 720 around. So that's how we can calculate the power distribution on a switch ports. So let's take another switch. But before that, let's check whether we can connect to a IP phone and check. So whether we are able to get the power in the IP phone. So IP phones are connected. You can see the power IP phones are up as soon as it's connected. So now you can see the first port is connected to the IP port, and you can see the IP phone model, and it is a class 3 device. It has been mentioned here, and the IP phone model has been given, and you can see the power in watts, which is 10 watts, has been allocated for this port, though the maximum power is 15.4. So you can see show CDP neighbor as well, because this device is connected to the switch. So Cisco, as per Cisco, it is treating it as a neighbor, CDP neighbor. So show CDP neighbor will give you the uh, device details, device capabilities, everything. So let's see another switch. Let's say 3650 24 PS. So again, by seeing this model itself, you will be able to know this is a PoE enabled switch. You can see this is not able to switch on because it's a modular switch. So you need to give the power. So just insert the power module over here, and again, now if you go and open the CLI, it will start opening. So it's booting now. So it's, since we give it the power supply, it's booting. It's booted up now. So you can see the model, it is 3650. Just enable it and then go to the show power inline output. Here you can see the power input. The input for the interface is 30 watts. So in the previous switch it was 15.4, here it is 13.0 per port. So you can see the previous switch 3560, you have 15.4 per port has been distributed. Here it is 30.0 has been distributed. If you calculate 30 into 24, you will give the maximum available powers. So let's connect the IP phones to this IP phone to this switch again and check the basic details. So you can see as soon as it's connected, it's detected and powered up, and you can see the first port is showing with the class 3 device, and it is also connected. And if you put show CDP neighbor, you will see the connected device as a neighbor, and its capabilities like host and phones, everything can be seen here. So, and you can see the power allotted is 10 watts for this particular port, though the maximum power is 30.0 watts. So I can show you the calculation as well. 30 into 24 ports, because per port is given 30 watts. So totally 720 watts. So maximum 780 watts. We have an enough sufficient power power source are there in the ports, across the ports. So they are being distributed across the ports. So you can see there is one more command called power inline policy, which I am typing here, which is not available in this device because this is a Cisco packet tracer. We cannot find this feature in it, but I have just taken a snapshot from a real-time switch where I can grab this output. You can see show power inline policy, and you can see the power distribution across this. You can see the operational power, which is the power allocated to that particular port connected device, and the maximum power is also given over here. So you can just verify it on the real-time switches by using this command, show power inline police command. So that's how we can check the power over Ethernet power distribution across the ports in the switch when the power OE devices are connected. Yeah, let's take other switch, and yeah, so now let's go ahead and check what are the benefits of PoE and PoE switches. So we have seen already the types of PoE switches, active PoE switch and passive PoE switch. So benefits of PoE and PoE pluses, or there are several benefits of PoE and PoE plus switches in the network environment, like convenience, and it can save time, save money, and it is flexible. So convenience in the sense you can have bulk of PoE switches devices can be connected to a PoE switch, thereby saving time and money, installation time, and then money on spending the power supplies and power redundancies for each and every devices connected. So flexibility, as I said, ideal location can be used and can be easily repositioned as per the network requirement, since it's a small PoE switch devices. So I hope this video is useful to you. Thank you for listening to this